Welcome, everyone, to Celebrity Josh, which is the name of my podcast for now. I'm going to change the name, I think. I don't like the name, but I'm kind of stuck with it until I come up with something better. And my name's Josh Rachlis. Also, I don't like my name, so maybe our guest will help me come up with a name for myself. Because she's got a cool name, because her name is Tinley Farrow. Is that correct?
Yes, that is right. Yep, Tinley
right?
Farrow.
All right, so we're recording this on Skype. So if anybody wants to see the video, or maybe you're watching the video, this is on YouTube, I guess, and then the audio will be on the podcast. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. Tinley is what are you, like a country western singer?
Yeah, country pop singer.
Country pop. Is there a difference between country western and country pop?
Well, western and pop music are quite different from one another. So we're kind of like the newer country music, which also kind of has a little bit of a pop feel to it.
Okay. So, okay, so country western might be like old school, like I don't know, Dolly Parton or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're kind of like the newer, which has more of a just more of a pop feel to it than the old kind of hillbilly western kind of music.
Yeah. I think I used to hear like the term new country. Is that like what it was? And
exactly. New country.
All right, new country, because you always hear you see like ads for the radio, new country 103 FM, the newest country, or whatever that might involve. So I'm sitting here in Ottawa, Canada. Where are you?
I'm in London, Ontario.
Okay, so for those of you in the world who don't know where we are, I'm also in Ottawa, Ontario, and same province, different city, and Ottawa's the capital of Canada, and London is often confused for like London, England, but it's not. My mom was just saying that she heard, I don't know, somebody during the pandemic made a list of how you could tour the whole world in Ontario because there's enough cities, like there's a Paris, Ontario, and I don't know what else.
Yep. Exactly.
I don't know if there's a Tokyo, Ontario, though. So, all right. So, by the way, for those of you who are listening, my podcast is about, I don't know, but I'll pretend I have a topic right now. Okay, so this is going to be like, exciting celebrity gossip and news about the hottest new country pop star, but also we might get tips on how she's done her career so far so that you can learn how to be like a musician too, or be creative, or make money. Do you think that's a good, is that a good idea for a podcast, sort of what I just said?
Perfect. We'll go for it.
All right. I'm very excited. So my friend Sarah, what would you say she is? Your agent or your manager?
So my manager, yeah.
Okay, so that's exciting. I think you might be her first client. I think this is like a Jerry Maguire situation.
No, I don't think so. I think she's had a few more before me.
Okay.
I've just started out with her, it's great. It's been a nice journey.
That's great. Does she live in London as well?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's exciting. I've never been to her town, but I've met her in Toronto when she's in town and stuff. And she is like a hard worker. She produces TV shows and all sorts of stuff. And now she's going to she's riding your coattails now. That's exciting.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So that's cool. So then, all right. So what, like, if I was in an elevator with you, like, what would your little elevator pitch be? Quickly, like, who are you? What's your deal? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So obviously, my name's Tinley Farrow. I grew up as a little girl singing away with my father, and it's just kind of stuck with me throughout my whole life. And then Sarah came across me, and I am where I am today now. So.
Wow. Is there a story to how she discovered you?
So actually I did a competition, and she heard some of my songs that I had put out there, and then reached out to me and asked to do an interview with me, and that's where it came from. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I interviewed an actress a couple of months ago, and I didn't know this about her, but it turns out her mom started this big talent agency in Cornwall, and now it's in Ottawa, called Angie's Talent. And then Helena is the actress name, and she told me the story about how her mom discovered Ryan Gosling. Like, he was just this
wow.
little kid in Cornwall, Ontario, and she saw him sort of in some contest and say, hey, maybe I can promote you to Disney or something. And she sent the tape, and then that's how he got discovered. So
off from there. That's really neat.
yeah, except he's off doing his own thing with his big agents now. So we'll see. We'll see if you take Sarah with you to Hollywood, or you're going to be like, thanks for all of that. See you later. So that's cool. So all right. So then you know what? It's funny because Sarah actually gave me some questions. Normally I just ask my own questions, but I could be professional here and look at these questions. I think we already answered this one. How long have you been making music?
Yeah, so I just started out professionally, but since I was a little girl, I've just been singing kind of with my dad. We would sing. I've played competitive sports all my life, so all the way to our sports, we'd be singing in the car, singing after the games. I also played a lead role in a musical when I was younger, and yeah, so.
So have you are you do you have multiple passions then? Would you be like, oh, I want to be in a musical, or I want to be an actress, or are you like, no, I'm laser focused on new country pop?
Yeah, I'm kind of focused just on the singing portion right now, and just the country pop singing. Not really into the acting right now.
Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, I find that with anything, if you can get big in one thing, it might translate to something else, right? Like, famous singers would be, Beyonce's acting in movies because, people knew her from her singing or whatever. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so what's the entertainment scene like in London, Ontario? Like there's some local contests that you were entering, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, it was actually a contest out of Hamilton, was called KWC, which is Karaoke World Championships. So because of COVID, it was all online, all through like just videos that people had taken and sent in. Normally it was all on stage, but just because of COVID, obviously everything's just been kind of online. So people are recording at home and then sending in their videos. So then I had posted online, and Sarah came across my videos and then reached out and messaged me.
Oh my gosh. So now it's sounding like when Usher discovered Justin Bieber. He was just posting his little videos on YouTube and
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
so
used to watch all those videos of Justin Bieber when he was growing up.
you were so inspired. I was working at an ad agency and we were doing ads for Kellogg's, and one of the We Day guys came to speak to us and because he wanted like Rice Krispies to sponsor him, and so we went to the We Day once, and there was this little kid Justin Bieber on stage, and all the girls were screaming and they were going nuts, and I'm like, who is this guy? What is going on here? It was he was like 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah.
But now he's done okay for himself.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And
channel.
sorry, go ahead.
All from his YouTube channel. It all started out from singing with you on his YouTube channel.
Oh, the song was called With You?
Yeah, one of his like hit songs on like cover songs on YouTube. Yeah, growing up.
Oh man, see that's the thing. I think a lot of people, yeah, like the old days it used to be like, okay, you got to go to Hollywood, you've got to meet, but now you can just post anything online and make it big and just keep getting out there. So whenever anybody asks me for advice, I'm like, just do it, just put it out, do your comedy, do your music, whatever it is, and you can make your own material.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. Yep. So it's just
Okay.
under name Tinley Farrow. Yep.
Is Tinley Farrow, like, is that the name you were born with?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Wow. See, there's lucky people that just are born with like it sounds like a stage name, like Taylor Swift. Although maybe Taylor Swift isn't that like it sounds cool now, but maybe it's only because we know who she is. But Tinley Farrow definitely sounds like a movie star. Are you related?
Name.
It's very what name?
Very unique.
Yeah. See, that's not, you almost don't have to say your last name because I don't know any other Tinleys.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my dream, to have a name like Beyonce or something where you don't have to say the last name. It's like, oh, Beyonce who? Oh, Beyonce Knowles. Oh, really? Because we've got a Beyonce Bernstein here as well. No, it's the only Tinley. So that's cool. Wonder if you can nail down Tinley.com. Is it? Do you know any other Tinleys?
I don't actually. No, not currently. I don't.
All right. Well, good. Let's try it. If there's anybody out there who's thinking of naming their kids Tinley or making like, don't do it. Tinley owns it now. It's just going to sound ridiculous if you try to. All yours. Are you related to Mia Farrow, the actress?
No, I'm not.
All right. I don't know any other Pharaohs either. Oh, see, but if you say Pharaoh out loud, now it sounds like the Egyptian Pharaoh. Interesting. All right. Speaking of Justin Bieber, my sister went to camp with his guitarist. Like I guess Justin hired a guitarist. I remember he was with a guitarist when he was the little kid sitting there, and then this guy's been touring with him for
Oh, wow.
however, yeah, forever. I actually ran into him. I was at my mom's little art show a couple months ago, and there was this family standing there, and they were looking at her paintings, going, "Oh, Louise Rachlis, isn't she a journalist?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's my mom." And then they left, and then later my mom said, "Oh yeah, no, that's the Justin Bieber guitarist. Like he was with his mom and his wife and stuff." And I'm like, because I looked him up on Instagram. I'm like, why does this guy have millions of followers? Who was that guy? Ugh. So, uh, do you have a guitarist?
I do, yes.
How long have you worked with him slash her?
So it's been a few months now, and we're just preparing now for a gig coming up in London, Ontario, at Old East 765. So that will be November 13th. So we have a gig coming up that we're prepping for right now.
All right. Well, my birthday is November 12th, so I'm going to be older when it's time for the show, but maybe I'll be still young enough to come and watch and celebrate. How does one meet a guitarist these days? When I was a kid, or like 20 or something, I would I don't know. I saw people putting ads on bulletin boards in music stores or in Craigslist. Maybe they had Craigslist, some kind of internet, or maybe no, actually in the back of the newspaper. I think I would put ads saying, "Does anybody want to make music?" And then eventually, sometimes people would message and say, "Yes, I want to sing with you" or something because I like playing guitar. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, so Sarah actually found him and then introduced him to me. So
Uh,
yeah, so she went off and found him, and then we held some auditions, and that's when I was introduced to him.
Sarah's a machine. Maybe I should get her to manage me. Um, I guess she pretty much is. She's booking me you as a guest, so all right, she's doing double duty. And then you did auditions. Oh my gosh! So there was
Yeah,
like pressure. There was demand to be your guitarist.
yeah, we had a few people trying out, so yeah.
And how does like what's the criteria? Why do you decide, oh, this is the guy or whatever? Is it like
So
because you
yeah, I
just
guess Sarah does all the deciding. She does all the scoring of them. So
oh,
I'm there as well, but I don't pick myself.
okay? So do you find that there's any difference between playing with someone who's like playing live versus like what you were doing before, playing with like recorded music?
Um, yeah. So obviously with recorded music, you get to know the cues and stuff of the music when you're playing with a new guitarist. It's
Mhm.
fine after a few goes, but at the beginning you have to learn how they play and what the cues are going to be. Because I always have like cues for music of when the next line is, or so it's a little bit different when you just have a guitar rather than playing with like a full band if you're listening to say like YouTube music. um yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I've realized too. Like when I mean, this is going way back, like 30 years ago, when I was living with a roommate who played guitar, and I wanted to record on my little 4-track that I'd rented from a music store. And I didn't realize that if you're playing like a track and then you're going to sing to it and stuff, like when I do it, when I was playing guitar, it sounded like I'm always playing the same, but I didn't have the exact rhythm. So they did it like to a like a metronome or something. So it has to be, or if I was going to play it myself, it has to be so like it's right on. Because otherwise you're sort of, and then if a singer's playing with you, then it's always like it's
Yeah,
like
you
you
get a little bit
vary.
mixed up at the beginning, but after some practice, then it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so let me think. What else did Sarah say here? Oh, she had another question. What does your debut cover mean to you? Do you have wait? I guess we're assuming you have a debut cover.
Yeah, so it's You Can Let Go. You can find it on my YouTube channel. So basically, it's a very emotional song. It's about it's a little girl. It starts off with a little girl learning to ride her bicycle with her daddy along her side, and then from there it goes on. She's getting older. She's getting married, and so basically it's just the stages of life where when you're getting older you're kind of swaying a little bit away from your family, and you're making your own family on your own.
Hmm.
So I've always had a really close relationship with my father, so the song really means a lot to me because we have a really strong bond, and basically that's kind of what the song's about, is this strong bond between father and daughter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I've always wanted a daughter. I never had. I was stupid. I broke up with all my girlfriends and wound up childless and alone. But but my sister has a 9-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy, and I love them both, and I love my niece especially, not especially, but she was first, so I loved her first, and then yeah, and it's
Yeah.
she's already like when she sees me, she wants to play, and we jump in the river and all that, but it's like I'm sure at some point she'll be like, oh, you're just my old uncle. I got to do my own thing with my friends. So
Yeah. Like I still have a really great bond with my dad. We do a lot together, and he kind of put the passion of singing into me. He's always loved to sing, so that's kind of where I got this passion from, was my dad. And just growing up, we've always been really, really close and connected.
that's so cool. Does he play guitar? Is he a
He does
musician?
play guitar. No, he sings as well, and then my brother does play guitar. So there are some musical instruments in the family.
Oh, have you ever thought of forming like the Farrow band where like you and your dad are singing and your brother's playing guitar and all that?
No, we haven't thought of that. No, just it would be maybe just for family gatherings or something like that. Just a one-time spur of the moment thing. But no, we haven't thought of forming a band or anything like that.
All right, well, we'll call the band the Farrow Family Gathering, and and it'll be and maybe like if you're singing like I don't know, maybe you'll be at the Oscar, like you'll write a song or you'll sing you can let go or whatever. What's the song called? You can let go.
Well, you can let go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe that'll be in a movie one day, and then you'll be singing at the Oscars as like one of the nominated songs. But then the surprise will be that you're up there singing, but then your dad's gonna come sing with you, and your brother's gonna
Oh,
come sing.
that would be very sweet. I think I'd cry.
Oh my God, I'm already crying thinking about it. That's crazy. All right, let's see. What else did this genius Sarah say? Do you have any shows coming up? Well, we know you've got the November 13th coming.
Yes,
Eh,
yeah, we have a few more in the making, but no dates as of yet. So once those get released, then we'll be posting all of our information on our social media pages. So we have Facebook, Instagram, and a YouTube page as well.
And by we, like you mean you and like
But
Sarah,
I got me and my manager Sarah. Yeah,
your team.
yeah, my team.
That's pretty cool. And then she said number 4 was, do you play any instruments? But I don't know. Do you?
I used to play piano a little bit growing up. I don't play any right now, but I just acquired a baby grand piano.
Mm.
So I'm just kind of restarting that out. We'll see where that goes.
That's a bit of a like that's not saying, oh, I just bought a ukulele for $10 and I'm walking around there like, oh, I got a baby grand piano.
Yeah, so that should get me back into it. Hopefully, I've been starting to. It's starting to come back. I'm trying to remember everything I learned when I was younger. So.
Yeah, how big like is a baby grand still big or is it like the size of like, a loaf of bread or something?
No, they're big and they're heavy. We had actual like piano movers move it in. It's a little bit dangerous to do on your own, so I've got it at my home here where I can practice.
Wow, I don't know if you know this, but they have like synthesizers now that are like electronic pianos and they're a lot smaller.
They do. They do have those, but the sound from a baby grand piano is nothing that you can compare to.
Pretty sweet. So are you going to once it's set up, maybe you'll like record with it, like you can use your mic and stuff, right?
Possibly, yeah. We'll see how good I get on it, and hopefully I'll be able to record a song with it.
Yeah, well, see what I thought of, and I sold my condo in Toronto a couple of years ago, and I left my guitar at my sister's in Brampton, but I'm thinking of getting it back because now I realize, like, I wrote a lot of songs when I was younger, um, and now you could be like, you know what, I'm just going to play 30 seconds or 60 seconds of it for TikTok or Instagram Reels, and then just to sort of get discovered that way, you don't have to even
Yeah.
record a whole song. So maybe if you can play 10 seconds of a baby grand, then people will be like,
There we go. Oh, she really knows how to play.
exactly,
We're
and then
just
you're
supposed
like.
to learn 10 seconds of a song, and that's it. I'll be golden.
Exactly. That's how all these people are making it these days. They don't have to like I'm thinking if I can just tell one joke for 5 seconds, I'll be a good comedian. I don't need to know anything else.
Exactly. Yep. Get yourself some followers.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else Sarah has here. She has a guitar player for gigs. She has a show coming up November 13th in London. New show dates will be released as they come up. Okay, you guys have your stories straight there. Her genre is country pop. She's managed by SCP Music. I'm going to guess that Sarah's middle name starts with E.
Yes, it does.
All right. There we go. And she's currently looking for. See, I'm assuming I'm allowed to say these things publicly. Otherwise, why would she tell me these things? She's currently looking for an original song to record. In the meantime, she has one cover tune on YouTube and working on a video for another. So is the cover tune is that You Can Let Go thing?
Yeah, You Can Let Go, and then we're working on currently we're working on The Bones, a cover for The Bones. Yeah, so we'll be posting that shortly on our pages.
Should I know the song The Bones? Is that like a famous song?
You should know it. Yes. If you heard it, I bet I don't want to go ahead and sing on right now. But I'm sure you'd know it if you heard it. Yes.
Who's like the original? Who knows? Like who's the original singer or whatever?
Yeah. Maren Morris.
I haven't heard of her either. So, but it's probably one of those things where, like. You know what songs I would know now? If they take clips of it and put them on TikTok videos. That seems to be the only songs I know that people do the little dances to.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right, so that's good. And then, okay, so Bones, and then who's the like? Would I know the You Can Let Go? And I'm sure I wouldn't know that one. That sounds more.
Crystal Shawanda. I'm not sure if you would know that one or not. It is a very popular song, so if you heard it, you might know it. But yeah, it's sung by Crystal Shawanda.
Crystal Shawanda. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool name. Man, there's so many cool names out there, and I'm stuck with Josh Rachlis. But now originally I was thinking I'd change my name to Celebrity Josh for a while because I was interviewing celebrities and stuff. But I'm like, I don't know. I still don't like the name Josh that much. So then I was thinking Spark the Genius, because then it can be like I'm Spark the Genius, like Tyler the Creator or something. But also my mantra is Spark the Genius. Like you should just. I don't actually know what that means, but it's generic enough to be like, just do something.
You can just change your name every week and keep it new and fresh, and then everyone will want to hear what your new name is for the next week.
See, I like that idea because that's what I was thinking. Maybe, well, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea, but it's like, yeah, I've got so many names. Like, what's my other name? Oh yeah, so a couple of weeks ago I was doing stand-up comedy and about getting my second vaccine, and a lot of my joke was like, I could have got a juice box, but I didn't. And I walked out. I'm like, oh, I should have taken the juice box. I should have said I was dizzy. And then on the walk back, no, what was it? Oh, yeah. So then I put a little reel about that on Instagram. People liked it. And then after the comedy show that I won, I walked back and I saw a beer can on the ground. And usually I pick up beer cans. No, it was in a garbage can. And I picked them up to help the environment and get 10 cents for returning them. But this was a beer called Juice Box Beer. And I'm like, Juice Box? I've never heard of that in my life.
I've never heard of that before.
No, and then I mentioned it on Instagram, and they said, "Oh, we'd love to be your new summer drink." And I'm like, "All right, so maybe my name should be Juice Box," but I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I'd have to tell that 10-minute story anytime, but at least I'd have a story to tell on talk shows or something.
Exactly, that's why you change it up every week, and then you have a new story to tell of why you chose that name for the week.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, because and there's like P Diddy, who's like Puff Daddy, and Snoop Dogg was Snoop Lion, so you can change your names. I feel like I just need to be, I don't know, is that making life harder to brand myself? People like, what's his name? Where can I find him? What's his .com? Like that thing. But why not? Maybe, yeah, every week I'm like, you got to go to new.com. Like this week it's juicebox.ca, and next week it's sparkthegenius.co.uk, or who knows what's.
I'll just change back to Josh, and everyone will be like, oh, who's Josh?
Haha, plot twist. It was me all along. And they'll be like, nobody knew you all along. I'm like, oh, right. All right. All right. And then, see, you remind me a bit of Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I don't know anything about her, and that's the only country singer that's in my head. What was I saying? Oh, okay, here's why I'm telling that story. It's why it's in my head. Like, when I was on the boat with my niece a couple of days ago, I don't know, my nephew he liked pulling out my arm hair for some reason. And then they were like, "Ew, we can see his armpit hair." And I'm like, yeah. And then they said something. I said, I don't know. They're like, you only have hair on your arm, and I'm like, oh, maybe my chest, but you can get that waxed. Or somehow we got in discussion about waxing. And then my niece was like, does it hurt? I'm like, oh, well, there's a movie clip I can show you, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, where he's getting waxed. And then he's yelling. And she's like, oh, I can't watch if there's swear words. I'm like, actually, I don't think he does swear. I think he yells out a country singer's name. What is her name? And then I'm like, I think she won that contest. She's like, is it Kelly Clarkson? I'm like, yes. How, you're 9 years old. How do you know Kelly Clarkson? She's like, yes, she won America's Got Talent, but I think she was on American Idol. I don't know.
I think it was American Idol. I'm pretty sure.
And then she went on. She started going on. She knows their whole story or something. She's like, yes, she wasn't eating much when she was on the show 'cause she wanted to be very thin, but now she's comfortable and with herself and she's eating more and she's healthy. Sorry, I'm just getting a Facebook Messenger call here. Um, I get all this. So I'm like, I don't know why my 9-year-old niece knows all this stuff because
Done her research, that's for sure.
yeah, I mean, this whole Kelly Clarkson thing was probably before she was born, I'm sure. So who knows? But she's always referencing like, oh, this is a character I know from Full House or something. Like Full House was way long ago, but I guess there's reboots or something. But she's like, oh, there's the Giblet or something. There's some girl named something on one of these shows or something. Anyways. So okay, so then you've got your show coming up November 13th. Oh, I was gonna ask, like, how's your social media following doing? Like, do you have Oh, and also, what do you focus on? Like YouTube? Are you on TikTok? Are you doing anything else?
So I was just launched a few months ago now. So we're just starting out our pages, which is when we put out the cover for You Can Let Go. My videos and stuff will all go onto YouTube. My Facebook page will have all of my information for any gigs that are coming up or any shows. So that's where, if you want to know where I am and where I'm going to be, that's where you'll find it. You'll find it on my Facebook page.
Man, this is all very professional. I feel like Sarah gave you a document and said, this is, don't tell anybody, no Snapchat or something. It's like, were you a social media person before? SCP Productions or whatever got their fingers into you? Like, were you like, just posting on Instagram about your life and that kind of stuff?
I've never really been a big social media person, to be honest. Just here and there, but I'm not one to post every day, all day. There's those people that post all the time. I was never one of those people. I kind of try and keep my life off of social media as much as possible.
Yeah, and the result of that is you actually have time to work on your skills and enter contests and be discovered as a singer. Or you could spend all your time posting online and for no point and never do anything with your life, which is me. I'm just kidding. I'm doing a podcast. That's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. You've done good for yourself.
Thanks. And I see behind you you've got a cool mic with a little what do you call those? Echo catch.
The front, are you talking about?
Well, the pop guard. I've got one of those. But what do you call those things like the behind it, the foam circle there?
What is the studio name for that? It's just like a foam guard around. It's just to basically catch the sound. Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual name for it is, but
that's all right. Yeah, I do voice acting, and I'm always looking. Like in my old condo, I had these panels built and installed on my walls and ceilings so they would sort of kill the echoes in the room. But then once I got rid of that, actually before I did that, a friend of mine's like, oh, I got a solution. Because I was like, I wonder if I can do my voice acting in the living room. And it was just this big echoey space. And he's like, here's a foam box. So he had a big piece of foam that he cut a hole into that I could stick my microphone into. And I tried that. I'm like, that doesn't work at all. And then I started researching these things like that thing. And it's not good enough for voice acting because it's like the echoes come from behind you, basically. Like it does like they've done reviews and be like, this is ridiculous. And then they sell these things called the eyeball, or I forget what it's called, but it's this blue circle to put around the mic. So anyway, so for voice acting, if you need to kill echoes, it won't work. But it probably for singing, because you do want a bit of echo in the room. You don't want a dead space, right?
Yeah, no, it does the job.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So like you record, what do you record in this? Is this your recording room?
Right now, just because of it's not my recording room. It's my home studio right now. Just with COVID, we haven't really been able to get out and actually go to the recording studio. So I have like a temporary studio set up at my home for right now. Yeah, so I can do practicing and some recording.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's also a good idea to, always have a home studio kind of thing. Then you can sort of noodle, try some stuff, or you could, make the video of the day for your TikTok if Sarah lets you.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're into TikTok, I guess it's very popular right now. I don't have an account yet myself, but I know a lot of people that use it. So.
I just like to say TikTok 'cause that's what I've heard is the cool thing. But I post it every now and then. I'm like, oh right, TikTok, and I'll upload my little video to TikTok, and then you can see the views. But yeah, I mean, you can't put all your eggs in one social media basket because all the people on Vine that was their thing, and then Vine went away, so now it's
Yeah.
TikTok. So it's
Yeah.
just about yeah, it's about building your brand, and YouTube's not going anywhere. But uh, and then okay, so then you're gonna YouTube videos, and then what would you do with like, do you have like an audio of your song that's somewhere? Like, what would you do with that? Like Spotify, or do people still put things on iTunes? I don't even know what you do with a song now.
So right now, we're just putting all of the covers on YouTube. So they'll all be on there to watch. Right now, I don't have a platform where we're just putting it on Spotify or anything like that. All of my music will go on YouTube to start off with.
That's fine. That's fine. I think it's better to, focus on one thing and do it well rather than trying to spread yourself thin and
Exactly.
figure.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I mean, that's even where I listen to music and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Do you think there's any legal ramifications, like if it's a cover, like in the future, can you even monetize on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, these questions might be for Sarah, but I
Yeah, she handles all of that and all the posting and all the legal requirements.
yeah, it hasn't hurt Justin Bieber doing a cover, so I'm sure you'll be all right.
Exactly. It made him who he is today, starting out on YouTube. So
Yeah. And although, how is he doing today? I think he was in a rough spot, but now he's. I think during the pandemic, I was checking his Instagram. He would go live every now and then, just walking around his big house, and I
yeah,
think he's found Jesus, and I think he's married now. He's doing
he is.
doing doing all right. See, that's the thing. I should have got married. The I was like, no, I'm going to be famous one day and I'm going to date all these Hollywood starlets. But now I look and I'm like, wait a minute, even all the Hollywood star guys marry and they know that you got to lock it down and have and then you can have the daughter that you're like, oh, you can let go of while she's riding her bike. And it's this whole thing.
It's all
Yeah.
about making that connection.
Maybe that'll be your next song. It's like, it's all about making that connection.
Yeah, well, we're looking at I'm hoping to write my own song eventually. So I have a writing session coming up. See what kind of stuff we can get out of that, and yeah, hopefully I can write a song about my life and everything that's going on in my life. So.
And what do you think? Like uh, your your focus if writing a song, like, are you more of a lyricist, or would you think you'd be like more the music, and then like which would be your thing?
Well, see, I'm hoping to write the lyrics. It would probably be more like family. I'm a very family oriented person, and it all comes from the heart. So that's probably what my songs would be about. I'm not going to say too much right now because I haven't actually had the writing session yet. And I don't want to give away any secrets, but yeah.
Cool. And is it going to be with your guitarist, or who would you write a session with, or is that a secret?
Yeah, it would be with my guitarist and the rest of the team. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So you'll sit down, you'll be like, here's a few thoughts for lines, and I'll be like, oh, okay, let me think. What about a C chord there? And you'll be like, yeah, nah, nah. And then I guess we'll go back and forth. Once they write some music, you'll be like, okay, we need some more syllables here, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Just start out from scratch and see where it goes.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how like Bono and the Edge and U2 do it. Like Bono will be like, hey, I've got, what's an Irish accent? I'm Irish. I've got some lyrics. And then the Edge would be like, oh yeah, okay, wait, I got this guitar thing. Because I remember I was reading about, I don't know, maybe Paul McCartney talking about like writing the song Yesterday. He was in a band called the Beatles a long time ago, and he was saying like the original working. So they had music for like Yesterday, because it's like, yesterday all my troubles seem so far away. But the original lyrics, like they had the music, and it was the song. The working lyrics were like scrambled eggs. Oh my darling, you've got lovely legs. So they just wrote it, with nonsense lyrics, and they're like, okay, that sounds good. I think maybe that's probably the way. I would think if I was going to write songs, and I think I have written some songs, that I think it's easier if you sort of have some music, and then you're like, okay, what words would fit into that, rather than I've written some words and how do we write music to that? Because you can always.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. I'm not. Yeah, we don't have the music or the lyrics yet, so we're start completely from scratch. But yeah, I guess if you had the music and then putting the words to it might be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anybody can do it, but who knows? Maybe you'll have some words, and I mean, I back in the old days, I like wrote a poem, and I'm like, how do I write music to that kind of thing? Like maybe the
Yeah.
word inspire some kind of music. So it's probably a back and forth thing. Well, you can report back to us on how the writing process went. This is all very exciting.
Yeah, it's a new journey, so I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. All right. So, and have you done? Would I be your first interview? Do you think, like your first podcast, at least?
No, my first podcast.
Yeah.
First podcast, yes. Sorry, but not my first interview.
Okay. And how? Well, so you could also say that this is the best podcast you've ever been on.
Yeah, it is the best one ever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put
I
that
love
in.
your
You love my what?
humor.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were gonna say I love your green screen, because it's the only thing you can see. If people can't see what I'm sitting in front of, or even if you can, this is like I moved into my parents' basement for the pandemic in Ottawa, and although technically maybe the pandemic's over and I'm not sure what I'm still doing here, but I thought my original plan was like when I sold the con, I'm going to be a digital nomad. I'm just going to interview people in coffee shops, or I'll do my voice acting from hotel rooms. But I realized how hard it is to have a good echo space and stuff, and also even just a good background or whatever. So I was doing some stand-up comedy, like Zoom classes and then open mics. And I needed a background so I could put the brick wall of the logo of the comedy school. And then I was like, it's not big enough. I have to hunch in to make the green. So I started buying more and more green paper from the dollar store, and I've made this giant green space. And I never use it. Like, well, I guess the idea would be if I'm going to do an article, like a funny YouTuber, like, hey, I'm reading the news about Spider-Man, and then I'll be able to be cut out in it, and then I'll be sort of floating in the corner instead of having to be like in a square. I can sort of be sitting right in the thing. So that's the idea.
Very. I don't know how to do any of that, but if you do, that's great.
Thanks. Yeah, you know what? I don't really know how to do. Like, I needed some software, and then it's all glitchy. And I tried having a background. Actually, I tried doing that when I was sort of doing a sort of an interview like this, like a chat with a comedian friend, and I'm like, I couldn't get it to work. So you could go watch the live stream on YouTube. It's basically 2 hours of us going, I'm upside down, or now there's 10 of me, and yeah.
Once
So
you
that's
figure it out, though, it'll get easier.
yeah. Was that last part?
I said it's just trying to figure it all out. Then you'll be good to go once it's all downloaded and your software is good. And
That's the thing. But I in the meantime, I'm just like, whatever. I'll just interview people like from my phone or whatever it takes, because you just got to get the content out there. You can't wait for the perfect thing.
Yeah.
But what I do need to do, I probably should get SCP to sign me, and then she can be like, no, Josh, no, this is how you're gonna do your videos and your whatever. So need to
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess you've already told us, but if anybody wants to find you or follow you or whatever, what should they do?
Yep. So under my name, Tinley Farrow, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm going to go follow you everywhere. That's exciting. Well, thanks so much. And I guess that's it. What would be like a cool sign off? Because it's always this awkward thing now where it's like, okay, bye. How do I end this? And what do you think?
Shake, I can't.
A handshake?
So you can't do a cool handshake anymore.
No. So I guess we can do like a fist bump, a virtual fist bump. All right, we just did a virtual fist bump. All right. And then I'm going to I'm going to make that a GIF, and it'll look like you're punching me in the face. And then we'll do,
exactly.
Tinley Farrow, road rage or something. Webcam rage. All right. I'll stop recording now because this is getting ridiculous. Okay. Bye.